Hello students, welcome to EPG Parshala. I am Dr. Savita. Today we are going to discuss about a module importance of geography in understanding tourism products from the paper Tourism Products of India. After studying this module, you will be able to understand the concept of longitude, latitude and international dateline, define geography and its components, understand the significance of geography in tourism, defining geography. The word geography has been emerged from two terms, geo and graphy. Geo means earth and graphy means field of study. It means geography is a field of science that deals with the structure of earth and its atmosphere, human being and their effects and impacts on the earth. It is of two types. Human geography. Human geography deals with the study of settlement patterns of human beings and also focuses on their cultural, political, social and economic aspects. Physical geography. Physical geography is a branch that deals with natural environment and more or less focus on organism, climate, soil, water bodies, landforms, etc. An introduction to tourism. The word tourism has been derived from a Latin word turnus, which means a journey performed in a circular way. This tourism is an activity which is performed out of the residence to a place which has something to offer to tourists, and it must satisfy the needs and wants for which he or she has specially come. Tourism doesn't stand in isolation as it comprises of certain components like attraction, accessibility and accommodation. The attraction are the key component of tourism phenomena because it is who bring tourists to the source. If there is no attraction, there is no tourism. These attractions are of three types: man-made, fort places, temples, culture, art and craft, science, souvenirs, museums, etc. Natural, beaches, islands, rivers, ocean, mountains, valleys, snowfalls, waterfalls, river confluences, deserts, etc. Continuum or amalgam of both natural and man-made, beach resorts, adventurous sports, wildlife sanctuaries, etc. Accessibility is a means to reach over destination or attraction. This means of transport may vary from slower to fastest mode and is based on distance and convenience. The means of transport includes land, rail, air and water. Accommodation is required because the tourist wants to stay. A home away home from is the second home is from the second most requirement, and in present time accommodations have become a place of sojourn. The focus in modern era in the term of accommodation is to give luxury facilities to the tourist to make his or her travelling an ever memorable. Besides above, there are some other components which contribute, whose contribution cannot be ignored. They act like secondary components. These are pleasing weather, entertainment centers, spa, banks, post offices, police station, nightlife, shopping center, restaurants with multiple casinos, attitude of local people, tourist information center, etc. How does geography contribute in tourism? As we know that tourism is a amalgam of various natural and man-made components which are often termed as attractions, a strong motive to attract tourists at a particular place. These attractions work as a strong base for tourism and they act like catalyst to increase or decrease the length of the stay of tourists at a specific destination. So, it is important to have the knowledge of basic tourism products of the particular destination. Geography plays an important role in tourism because all the natural resources are emerged from it. As we know, geography is a subject which deals with the nature and its products, and thus all the mountains, rivers, water bodies, floras and fauna, national park and wildlife sanctuaries, rainfall and temperature, humidity, snowfall, etc. has been put into consideration for touristic activities. It is the geography who has been given credit to create destinations which are being visited by millions of tourists annually. The major hill station, resorts, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, safaris from India are put into tourist map because of its geographical components. Before going to describe in detail, it is important to have the knowledge of the basic geography. The first thing which is of prime importance is longitude and latitude. You might have been a global map with represents Earth. This Earth possesses two type of imaginary lines. Lines originating from poles and terminating at poles. Second one, lines dividing the earth into north and south. The lines originating from poles and terminating at poles are called as longitude. These lines are also called as meridians. These meridians divide the world into two parts called eastern and hemisphere and western hemisphere. Among these, one meridian was chosen as a base point of reference which is known as prime meridian. It is the prime meridian that runs through Greenwich City near London and represents 0 degree. Hence, prime meridian is also called a zero meridian. The significance of these lines lies in the fact that they are used to representing time zones, distance of a place, location, travel time, etc. The grid of lines which is shown on the globe map, parallel line extending east and west are called as latitude lines. These lines divide the world into two parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. They are also called as north latitude and south latitude. The importance of these lines is that they are used in the climatic study of the particular place. Study of flora and fauna, rainfall, humidity, temperature, etc. are also taken into consideration with the help of latitudes. International date line is the imaginary line that defines the boundary between one day and next day. It is also called as line of demarcation and is located halfway around the world, measuring from prime meridian, that is 0 degrees longitude or about 180 degrees east or west of GMT. When anyone crossed ILD from west to east, it means she is subtracting a day, and if she crossed the line from east to west, she is adding a day. An introduction to geographical components of tourism. Robinson has described the components of geography through a model. In this model, he has given a list of all the essential ingredients of natural attraction, that is, motivation to tourists. According to him, majority of tourism attraction are based on geography. Location and accessibility are two aspects of the same coin, because a locale is something that attracts tourists and the accessibility is a means to reach at that location, which ease and comfort. Physical space is required for those who love wilderness and solitude. Scenery in any form has its own significance because tourists love to watch and appreciate them. It has some kind of aesthetic and recreative value. Climatic condition, like when there is a sunshine, people try to escape for some colder place. When there is a cold, people move to beach areas and sometime to hill station to watch snowfall. Animal life is significant in tourism because of tourist attitude toward national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, bird watching centers, or viewing game in the natural habitat of the animals, or for sporting purposes like fishing and hunting. Human civilization has been a prime component for travelers. The human geography is based on settlement pattern and has been inculcated into studies. The indigenous culture, folklore, traditions, art and craft, archaeology, monuments, sets provides a base of valuable attraction. The detail of his model is described below. Accessibility and location, space, scenery, landforms, that is mountains, canyons, coral reefs, cliffs, etc. Water, that is rivers, lakes, waterfalls, geysers, glaciers, the sea and ocean. Vegetation, that is forest, grasslands, moors, deserts, etc. Climate, sunshine, clouds, temperature, conditions, rain and snow, animal life, wildlife, that is bird, game reservations, zoos, hunting and fishing, settlement features, town, cities, villages, historicals, remains and monuments, archaeological remains, culture, ways of life, traditions, folklore, art and craft, etc. Resources of geography as a tourist attraction. Geography deals with the physical, biological and cultural features of the earth's surface. Tourism geography deals with the physical aspect, which encompasses the 7 continents, 21 oceans and seas, and over 200 countries in the world. Travel geography concentrates on those aspects of geography that facilitate travel and make it more interesting. It is all about the geographical distribution of tourism throughout the world. It seeks to describe and explain the special patterns of touristic activity and development on regional, national, international and world scales. It is about the locations of tourist resources and the factors that influence when, where, how they are used for tourism. Knowledge of the continents, countries and oceans of the world add dimensions to life and is a requisite for travel and tourism professionals. Travel geography also inculcates cultural geography, which means people are ethnically and socially distinguished from each other but connecting together through tourism. There are two main aspects of travel geography. The world's geographical resources base for tourism. The special pattern of world touristic activity, the distribution of tourism in the different regions of the world and geographical explanation of these patterns. Main region of touristic activities. So far as geographical regions are concerned, there are four important regions that have been identified as a base of tourism attraction. The transport network evolved to link tourist generating region and other potential destinations. The main regions of the touristic activities are Europe. The world's focus of international tourist generating and the world primary destination region. North America, an equally significant world tourist region in terms of volume of tourist movement, whose general pattern of tourist development show striking similarities with those of Europe. The Pacific and Australia, the world's most rapidly growing tourist region. South Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East and Central and South America, these regions are peripheral in terms of their economic relationship with the developed world and in terms of their tourist linkage with the major Western tourist generating region. Glimpses of geographical resources. There are various geographical features that attract travelers. Their description is given below. Climate resources for tourism. It compasses the following components: rainfall, sunshine, climate, coastal resources. These are further divided into sea, beaches, waves, tides, landscape and wildlife resources. It has following components: natural landscape, tropical forest, national park, wildlife sanctuaries, hot and cold deserts, historic resources. It has following components: settlement pattern, early civilization, the phase-wise development of human settlement, cultural, entertainment and man-made resources. It focuses on theme-based amusement park and recreational centers, nightlifes, sporting events, leisure shopping, significance of tourism models in the context to geographical components. There are various models proposed by scholars regarding tourism components. First model, which we are going to discuss, is given by Leeper. Leeper has discussed geographical components through his popular model which is widely known as Leaper's model of tourism system. This model was proposed in 1979. Leaper's model is divided into three elements called TGR: Travelers Generating Region, TRR, Transit Route Region, and TDR, Tourist Destination Region. TGR, Traveler Generating Region, is the place from where tourists are emerged and their journey begins and finishes. It is the place for generating business for key players of travel industry like transporters, hoteliers, travel agents and tour operators, etc., and is base of travel industry. This region is called as push factor. TGR, Transit Route Region, is the region lies between traveler generating region and tourist destination region. It is sojourn where tourists stay for a short while to catch their flight, trains, bus or any connection to reach their destination. Transit is also important because tourists may visit some intermediate tourist sites and route, may take some temporary stoppage, may change his her flight or may take stopover. TDR, Tourist Destination Region, is the place of touristic activity, that is the final destination where tourist is intending to visit. It is important to have some tourist oriented natural as well as man-made features to attract tourists. This region is also considered as pull factors. Another model is proposed by Mill and Morrison in 1985. The significance of the model is that it is divided into four components, divided into market, travel, destination and marketing. Marketplace is the originating point, that is, tourist makes a move to visit a destination and purchase his her travel plan. Travel means he/she analyzes a destination in terms of when, where, why and how. It also defines tourist behavior regarding the destination. Destination is the ultimate place to be visited by the tourist. They analyze the destination in terms of destination mix, that is, available attractions and facilities to be used by them. Marketing component concentrates on motivating people to travel to a particular destination. A well-developed marketing plan, selecting an appropriate marketing mix and choice of a distribution channel will ensure the success and failures of the destination choice made by travelers. Third important tourism model is of Gunn, who propagated in the year 2002. In this model, he has described about demand and supply system. Demand factor comprises of motivation, perception, past experience and tourist expectations. There are various components behind motivation like socio-cultural factors. Supply factor comprises of government, products and tourism industry, that is travel agents, tour operators, hoteliers, etc. Government acts as policymaker, provide basic infrastructure to the industry. It includes transportation facilities, tourist information center, safety and security concerns, etc. The available tourism products work as an attraction to pull tourists to its source. Significance of geography in tourism. The geography plays an important role in tourism. As we all know, tourism activity requires a place, that is destination, where predetermined activities can be performed. The place is characterized by its geographical elements like mountains, rivers, waterfalls, national park, forest area, flora and fauna, etc. In a broader way, geography is beneficial to tourists, industry people and destination people and government authorities in many folds. The examples are being a tourist, we prefer to visit a destination which have some scenery beauty. So, geography determines the locale of the destination. The geography reveals the climate, temperature, rainfall and humidity of the place, which is a base for deciding factor of a destination in terms of its rich heritage and culture. The tourists are making their travel plan in the terms of when, where, why and how. The answer to the question are based on the geographical components. It also determines the seasonality factor in the tourism. The industry people try to grasp the opportunity of seasonality factor by promoting the destination and earn business. They formulate package tours and earn money. The hoteliers construct resorts and hotels to attract travelers. The transporters identify the routes to be adopted. The nexus between geography and tourism is based on the components like location and the plans as a destination and means to approach to these destinations as connectivity. Geography as discipline has some integrated character in calculating eminent characters like physical, human and economics. Tourism geography studies concentrates on the things like tourist resources, infrastructure, various emerging types and forms of tourism, the tourist movement research point of view and potential tourist markets. It has been observed that a destination is preferred by tourists only through the perceived experience as the place is characterized by its geographical components. It is also important that the travelers can make a choice of transportation based on land, rail, water or road. While visiting a destination, tourists generally try to discover the untapped geographical components like typical landscape forms, natural beauty, the tradition of the local place, local cuisines made from the available vegetation and overall benefiting the most community in the terms of socio-economy. To conclude, it can be said that the tourism geography is a study of relations between destination, tourist and host. Summary: geography plays an important role in the tourism. The culture of a place is determined by its climate and the climate is influenced by temperature, rainfall and humidity. There are two aspects of geography. One is human geography, commonly known as cultural geography, and the second one is physical geography. Both the aspects have significant importance in tourism. Cultural geography deals with the human civilization, flora and fauna, food, art and craft, etc. It works as a resource of man-made features. Physical geography deals with the environment, landscape, water bodies, forests, etc., which work as a base of natural resources in tourism. As we know, tourism industry has diverse motivation for tourists. The study of geography focuses on the resources, that is destination people, tourist and host, and means to reach transportation. This has also been described by various scholars like Leper, Gunn, Mills and Morrison through their tourism system models. The geography is beneficial to tourists, entrepreneurs, destination people and governments. Tourist studies about the available tourism resources of the destination and plans his her holidays accordingly in the manner of how, when, where and why. The entrepreneurs think of giving services in the form of accommodation, food, recreation, transport, etc. to the tourists. Locals seek benefit by the arrival of tourists in money making, employment, souvenirs, providing local resources to the hoteliers for cuisines, etc. The government formulates policies, do's and don'ts, norms for everyone and earn revenue for further development. Thank you.